Simon, two changes, Robbie and Peter both coming in. Can you just give us a rundown of what it is you think these two players are suited to this game specifically for?
I think with the Robbie one, in terms of the centre partnership, we've got three brilliant centres in the squad who are playing really well at the moment. We felt like Ringer was excellent last weekend, and that partnership with Bundy was good. Robbie came on and impacted the game, and I think it was always our intention over the first couple of weeks is to mix that up in that area. Like I say, all three of them playing well, coming into camp, all training well, and all contributing last weekend. And I think Ringer will cover the wing for us as well as centre, which means that when he's in the game at 60, 65 minutes, the way he plays the game, how much he puts into his performance, it's probably an opportunity for him to come on at a certain stage and be a bit fresher later in the game, just like Robbie did. And from that respect, it was probably it was a tough decision leaving Ringer out, but the right decision in terms of sharing the load between the three of them. And Ringer obviously played the full 80 last week, whereas Bundy came off a little bit earlier.
And then with Peter?
Yeah, with Pete, he obviously, we spoke before the England week, having come into camp with a little bit less rugby under his belt. We felt like he needed some time in camp to work on a little bit of conditioning, and he's done that. I think he's supported the guys last week when he didn't get in the 23 incredibly well. I thought Beto did really well. In terms of the line-out work was excellent, but Pete brings that, and he brings this type of experience which at the moment some other players can't offer. So, it's probably a decision that was something that we were thinking about for a couple of weeks, but certainly after the England performance, we felt like it was a good chance to bring Pete in and bring his experience to the table and keep Beto involved off the bench.
Steve.
Thanks, Simon. Ireland have obviously dominated this fixture in recent times. How helpful is it that probably the majority of this team has never lost to Scotland?
Yeah, I'm not sure it matters that much. It's we're always continually trying to evolve and get better, as are Scotland, and they showed that in the autumn that they can mix it with the best, which they did really well, and they obviously won their opening fixture. So, yeah, it's something that has been spoken about outside of the camp, but it's certainly something that we're just trying to focus on getting our own game in order, making sure that we deliver a better performance than we did against England, because that's what it'll take to beat Scotland in Murrayfield. We know how hard they are up there. A lot of us have been there over the years as players and as coaches, and certainly a good few years ago we didn't have the same success that maybe we've had in recent times. So we know how difficult it is. They'll be, we know the motivation they'll have. They won't need any, but we obviously got internal motivation this year in terms of what we're trying to do. So it's a factor, but it's not something that we've paid too much attention to.
Just Simon, Jack Crowley was really good for you last weekend coming off the bench. Was he disappointed not to make the starting 15, and how do you manage that?
He was disappointed, and so were a lot of other players that didn't make either the starting 15 or the bench. I think keeping some continuity within selection was important. I do agree that Jack was good last weekend coming off the bench. The game had opened up a little bit, and that's partly due to the way he played and played the game in different areas of the pitch, etc. So he did add real quality when he came off the bench, as did a lot of the other guys off the bench. We know how important the start is, but we also saw last weekend how important the finishing the game is. So Jack's clearly disappointed, but he's an unbelievable person. He's so supportive of his own disappointment. Doesn't allow that to reflect on the way he trained yesterday, the way he is about the camp, the way he's supporting Sam and the other players. So he's a great fella, and we're fortunate to have those two. Jack played all of last year. He started every game in the Six Nations. He had those experiences, and we're kind of in a position where we're trying to grow both of them and grow Sam's experiences, not just at home last week in a huge game for him and for us as a team, but also now going away from home. How does he handle those types of experiences, which is very different to last weekend?
Simon, just on Robbie Henshaw, I'm pretty sure he was breaking into the Ireland setup when you were getting your start with this setup. But just over the last 11 years, how have you seen him develop both as a player and a leader?
Yeah, Robbie's. I think his consistency has been incredible. His consistency of performance. He doesn't sort of shout from the rooftops about how great he is. And I think it's only those who know and have worked with him and have played with him, and obviously those that have played against him know how good he is. He's incredibly motivated, and he has a real edge to him, even though you don't necessarily see that. And when you guys might meet him, he's tough. He's so tough, and he just brings a wealth of experience to that position. As does Ringer. But we're just very fortunate that we got two incredibly good players in that position. And at the moment in the squad, we have Bundy as well, who was playing well and delivering like he did on the weekend. So Robbie brings a huge amount to the group. He brings confidence to the other players around him, and I think he goes about his business in a way that is kind of understated in the way he is. But the players know he brings big performances in big games, and he's done it time and time again for Leinster and for Ireland.
So I take you rated Peter's performances over the years. A lot of them have come against, as best ones have come against Scotland. What do you think it is about the Scots to bring out the best in Peter O'Mahony?
I don't know. He has that ability, doesn't he, to play big when it's needed, and he he has the edge around him in training last week when he wasn't involved. He brought a lot of competition to the group for those that were starting, and he was disappointed not to get the selection, be it in the 15 or the 23 for England. So I think what he does do when he plays against sides like Scotland is he plays right on the edge. He's confrontational. He kind of leads by example. Other players will certainly follow that example, and I think he brings that type of experience that clearly it takes time and caps to build that experience and know-how and knowledge to take on a team like Scotland in Murrayfield. So he brings a lot of different dynamics. He's great around the group, and I've said it before. He's brilliant around the group when he's not involved in the 23. But it's a different dynamic when he is involved.
Rory, and then final question for Justin for this section.
Just to jump back to Sam Prendergast, you mentioned the new experiences and going away from home as one of those. How do you think he has handled each step up so far?
When we saw when he left Island Camp in November and had the opportunity to play away from home with Leinster, and he handled those pretty well, didn't he? So yeah, it's early days for him. We know that he has unbelievable talent, and the expectation on him, probably from himself, but also from the outside world, is pretty high at the moment. But we're trying to support him in the best way we can to allow him to keep growing, keep enjoying those experiences, learning from them, and they're not always going to be perfect. But unless you have them, you don't know how to handle them, and you don't know maybe how to handle them in the future. So I think it was another tough selection call, but we felt like the right decision in terms of continuity, but also the growth of Sam, and we know as well that Jack is kind of itching to get on there and get a start in the 10 jersey, and I'm not saying that we'll keep that selection the same route throughout the championship, but this week we feel it's the right thing to do.
Just final question for this section.
Just briefly, Simon, speaking of experiences, how was last Saturday for you?
For me, well, afterwards it was great. It was good. It was. I've said it before. The people in the group make those experiences what they are, and I'm very fortunate to have great people, great backroom, great media people helping me out. No, all those things matter, don't they? It is, Ryan. Thank you. It matters because those are the external things which sometimes you don't appreciate as an assistant coach. So those things matter. There's so many good people looking out for us. So many good people looking out for the team in terms of allowing them to go and perform, and that helps us as coaches as well, just to go and attack the game in the right way and not be distracted too much by kind of other stuff, which sometimes we in other environments that might not be the case, but in ours we have good people who are working really hard towards one goal, and I benefit from that as do all the other coaches.